Hi, I'm Al Goff.
And I'm Miles Miller.
Hi, this is John Schneider.
Hi, it's John Glover.
This is Justin Hartley.
This is Steve the Knight.
This is Aaron Ashmore.
This is Cassidy Freeman, and you are listening to Starkville.
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 Starkville, House of L.
Starkville, House of L.
Starkville, House of L.
The podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the House of L. This is our episode for the Smallville Season 3 episodes, Crisis and Legacy. I'm Derek.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Luke.
Look, I like
Effortlessly smooth.
It's just like a little stutter.
Smooth.
You were like, am I one of the team yet? I don't know. But you are, sir. You are. You're here.
Thank you. I'll take that.
We're happy to have you and Steve, and I guess happy to have myself here.
Well, you know, without you, there'd be no House of L, Derek. So
Is that right?
yeah,
Is that I don't know. Does that go in the pro column or the con column? I'm not really.
depends
all
on
the
who you
pros.
ask.
Okay,
Depends on
I'm
who
asking
ask.
you.
Oh, well, it depends. I think it's great, but now
Let's
again,
poll the
depends
audience.
on who you ask.
Yeah, Luke.
Poll the audience.
Without you, Derek, so many elements of my life wouldn't be as bright as they already are.
All right, you're just kissing ass at this point. All right, let's.
You have a birthday coming up in a few days.
You do.
We don't want to talk about that. That's the bad one coming up.
Oh, really? You're
Yeah.
turning 30?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Don't I have the boyish good looks of a 30-something-year-old?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. More importantly, coming in a few days, we've just found out this morning a new Superman trailer, the official. We've only gotten a teaser trailer up to this point. Coming this Wednesday at the time of this recording. And
On your birthday.
yes. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
That was planned. It was meant to be. Take that win, Derek.
Historically, I don't want to dwell on that, but it's been a good date for Superman dates in the past.
Yeah.
A lot of Smallville season finales happened on the 14th of May. So
That's true. That's true.
I feel like there's some solidarity there. So there's not
that win.
There's not, but I'm gonna pretend like there is. So yeah, excited for that. Saw a new Milkbone commercial this morning featuring Crypto in some new sequences.
Very happy about that as well.
I don't know how I feel about reverting back to the Smallville Giants from the comics. I feel like we've established that the Crows are the superior football team for Smallville High, but we'll leave that for Professor Bailey to discuss, I guess.
Well, hey, I blame James Gunn.
Do you?
Yeah, he's ruining Superman.
Oh, is that...
Steve.
Why? What have you heard? Is this a thing I'm not aware of?
I wasn't aware of anything, and then I started reading some various posts, and I was really convinced.
Reading. That's where you messed up, sir.
Yeah.
You should
As always,
not.
reading is never a good idea.
Reading is always.
I think that people made some very good points and scared me a little bit.
Uh-oh.
So,
Would you like to share one, and Luke and I will beat you with a rod?
well, it was just the vitriol with which they said. I was afraid that if I actually am excited about this thing, they'll come and beat me with a stick. That's how. So I'm just.
Now you didn't like The Last Jedi. Tell me how you
Let's
really
get them all
feel.
piling on.
Tell me
Let's
how you
do it.
really feel.
well,
So what aspect?
I'm just kidding around.
Oh, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a bit.
I mean, it's not a bit because there are people that are still
Right.
whining about this.
I'm making fun of them because they're stupid.
Oh, it's a whole thing. I got it.
Yeah,
I'm with
idiot.
you now.
Derek, let's just make fun of the idiots.
Oh,
you know?
all right.
Yeah.
Well, here's a guy. I'm just kidding.
What do you mean his house is going to be a double wide that they built on too?
Yeah.
Now look. I feel like I've said this on the air before, and Steve, you've said this too. We're originally from the part of the country where that is totally a normal thing.
I got a good friend that lives in a very nice triple wide. Like, you know, you.
Now explain to this wonderful foreigner about trailers and stationary homes. So I know about trailers. I know about caravans, as they are called here in the UK. What is I'm guessing a triple? Is that two together or back to back or side to side?
A triple would be three.
Yeah. What it
Okay.
is- but now it's not like you have 3 individual units. It's made in 3 parts, each as wide as an individual unit to come together to form one whole. And
Oh,
so
okay.
it's just it's a bigger floor plan and a
Mobile home rollout.
yeah.
Well, yes. Well, I mean, we do. There's
It's the devastator of mobile homes.
there are a few mobile homes and caravan sites near me, so this is all new to me. But
So you call a trailer park a caravan site?
in the UK, yes, if you
But-
a lot of places, you would go there for a holiday, so you would you would go into a caravan.
Okay, you're talking about an RV.
You're talking about like a mobile home, like a yeah,
What used
recreational
to be called, yes,
vehicle.
they're always called sort of like caravans over here. Then it went to mobile phones. Then it went to a static caravan or a what you call like a house with no wheels, as it were. But they are becoming more popular in the UK as holiday homes.
Houses with no wheels, we just call houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes more sense, doesn't it? Actually,
In Steve Glosson voice, that's just ketchup. That's just a house. That's
just a house
that's just a
without
house.
wheels.
Just
Just
a house.
that's
not
a building,
Luke. That's not a house. That's a home. That's
That's it.
Yeah.
And wherever you lay your hat, no matter if you're Superman or Clark Kent, it's where you call a home. That's the main thing.
And John Byrne is terrible too. What did
oh
that guy
God,
do?
somebody mute him. I think the John Byrne run is actually where the Giants come from, if memory serves.
I think so. Yeah.
I may be wrong on
So you
that.
have someone to blame now.
I'm
But
much.
again,
Oh,
somebody
yeah,
else
good.
to
Now there's a target on the board.
That's a Professor Bailey question.
Yes, we'll save those for him.
Yeah. Listen, this is coming from the guy who said, "Don't sleep on Electric Blue Superman." I said that.
No one should.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting time.
I hear that's the coda at the end of the movie.
Let me tell you something. If they, in the words of Werner Herzog, speaking of the puppet Grogu,
I would like to see the Electric Blue Superman.
I would like to see the
well, no,
suit.
I was going to say, he told Jon Favreau, this is a legit story. He told Jon Favreau that if they didn't use a puppet, he was a coward. He's like, if you try to use the CGI technology, you're a coward. He told him you're a coward. And so I would say, if there's no Electric Blue Superman stinger at the end of this movie, James Gunn is a coward.
You have failed this movie.
That's right. You have
Wow.
you have failed this movie and this fandom.
We don't need to do what. I would just like a traditional Superman sequel at this point. It's only been since 1981 that we've gotten one. So
Well, you've got Superman coming up.
yeah.
Superman.
yeah.
And then the sequel is Superman Red, Superman Blue.
No, why would you jump right into?
And
That's
then you
like
get
that's like
Superman
killing him
Forever.
off at the end of the next movie. Who would do that?
And then you get Superman Forever.
Hmm.
And then you can bring in Cyborg Superman and all those others, and then do a proper death of Superman. Listen, I've got the next 20 years of this man.
I think we need to, as much as it's one of my favorite runs, I think we need to let the death of Superman just.
I
on
absolutely
the
agree,
mantle.
Derek, but they're not. And so sometimes I just stop fighting the battle and start telling them how to do it right.
Who is they in this scenario?
You know who they are.
I don't know who they are.
Their names are spoken in hushed whispers.
Who are
throughout.
them?
Them are
Voldemort?
some bad folk.
Well, I think we need to leave it alone.
They're Veritas. That's who they are.
You know, speaking of Veritas, thank you for that segue.
What a segue. Yes, that was
The
good.
hindsight of being 2020 of Smallville in its 10-year run, going back and watching an episode that I loved so much, like Legacy, in its original airing in 2004, I'm reminded of how much changed down the line.
Yeah. Well, within months. Within months, but I mean, but come to like a season 7 or a season 8 when we've got Veritas flashbacks. Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about the logo in the mirror, in the stained glass mirror. I'm talking about like, you know, Genevieve and Lionel.
Hold lines. Swan.
Well, all of them: Swan, Lionel, Genevieve, and I almost said Green. That's not his last name. Queen.
I will never forget that episode in season 7 where young Lex is watching through the grates, the Veritas meeting or something,
And the wheelchair just rolls by.
and the wheelchair rolls by, and Derek was like just so scandalized by that moment. He's like, I don't know if that was appropriate.
That was a choice.
Well,
It was a choice. It was a choice.
There were
We won't
so
take it
many
as-
theories surrounding Swan back in the day. I mean, everything to the, we were like, is he Jor-El? Did like Jor-El survive, Krypton's explosion? Because they were just taking such big swings with some of this stuff. And then so that had kind of tempered down by the time Rosetta came and left, and we've only really mentioned Swan in passing here and there. And then he comes back and he's got the key at the end, and Jonathan's like, I don't know how to explain it. The key's just out there, and he's magically got the key now. And we're just like, is he Jor-El? Like, how did he get that now? Why didn't Clark just X-ray the wall?
Are we jumping ahead in the
No, but you segued, so
Okay.
I'll back way from there, but I'm just back way, backtrack,
way back?
backpedal.
Yeah.
I'll go back to Crisis.
Okay.
The episode that made it where Brian Q. Miller couldn't call his Crisis on Infinite Earths Smallville run actually Crisis because they wasted that title on that episode. An episode that I really liked back in the day.
Going back to Crisis, a really bad LL Cool J parody.
Huh?
He went back to Cali.
Oh.
You don't know about my gangster rap days.
I was going to say that was a fantastic little pop culture reference coming out of the nowhere from Steve. That was beautifully done.
And now he's going to perform it in its entirety. No, please don't.
Okay.
Not getting canceled on this show. Right, written by Kelly Souders and Brian Peterson, directed by Kenneth Biller. Crisis aired March 3rd, 2004, a long, long time ago, on a network that doesn't exist anymore. Clark receives a phone call from the future, that sounds normal, in which Adam Knight kills Lana Lang. Meanwhile, Lex is framed for the murders committed by Adam at Metron Labs and offers to take down his father in exchange for immunity. Out of the gate, my first thought in watching this is now an old man at the end of my life. I fully expected I fully expected those phone lines to be way more lit up at the team, because those kids go through a lot in that town.
A lot of counseling needed.
A lot of counseling needed at Smallville. Something I didn't think about back in the day, but now watching, I'm like, no wonder that place was staffed so well.
Well, and how good was Pete on the phone? Watch and learn, Clark.
Well, how long they've been divorced?
He's a good listener. Good listener.
Acting. Luke, I'm going to guess it's been
really
longer for you revisiting this episode than it has either one of us, if I had to guess.
It has been a while, but I mean, going back and doing the research today, and I was like, oh, okay, let's go back. And it wasn't really like a filler episode as such, but it was like they were trying to make some moves here with it and maybe try something a little bit different. I like the concept, don't get me wrong, it was fun, but
I don't think it's a filler episode as much as it's a transition episode. Because you're moving out of this subplot we've had running through this first part of the season with Adam to all those questions have been answered, and now we're moving into the whole Lionel thing that's going to get us to the season finale. I think a lot of people look at season 3 as kind of being the superior season of the entire show. And I think that's partly because of the storytelling across the entire season. The Adam Knight thing seems so important and so vital during the time. And now you look back and like he's someone that I almost forget was ever on the show. And so this episode was the culmination of all that. And but because Adam Knight doesn't really go any further than this, it does seem kind of like, okay, because everyone at Metron Labs is dead. Lionel's basically dead, now because he's got his terminal condition and he's just going to rot in jail apparently. But at the time, I remember this being a big deal. Like these were two heavy hitter back-to-back episodes at the time. Did you lose me?
No, I was expecting you to say more.
No, I finished.
I remember the 6-week. Yeah, let me look here. Let me make sure I'm getting that right. March 3rd, 2004, April 14th, 2004. The long wait in between these two, and which was not uncommon for Smallville to throw us a hiatus out of nowhere. But
Right.
we had that cliffhanger of the reverse 007 gun barrel coming at the camera with Lionel, and
Oh yeah.
I remember thinking that's a long time. And then it's clearly like when we pick up in Legacy, it's clearly the next day for everybody else, but Lionel's still been sitting there holding the gun for I don't know how long,
Right. Listening to that opera.
just on repeat. Somebody's got to get up and put the needle back and start it over again.
Right. That's right.
He's just been sitting there the whole time. So yeah, despite a 6-week break, these do pick up right where the previous one left off, but in two just totally different tones of episodes. Crisis is a Freak of the Week episode, but the Freak of the Week in this episode is the phone, I guess.
The phone line.
I mean, it is. It gets infected by kryptonite, so that would be the Freak of the Week, and then you've got a, no pun intended, legacy episode.
None taken.
With 317, which I did. Yeah, it aired 6 weeks later, written by Jeff Loeb and directed by Greg Beeman. And I kind of remember it being a bigger deal that Reeve was coming back on that one, and maybe it's just because of the popularity of the show was bigger than it was in season 2. But I just remember a lot more surrounding that one. But I also think when Rosetta ended, it was kind of like, oh, that's, if we never saw him again on the show, that was a good moment. I mean, that was very much a passing of the torch thing. And then this almost sets up like this whole new path for Swan and Clark and now Lionel being in the mix, that ultimately, due to Reeves' passing, goes nowhere.
And that's kind of one of the things I was thinking. I know we're jumping into Legacy, and we haven't really.
We can go back and forth. It's fine. It's fine.
So we're moving forward, but I was thinking as I was looking back over this stuff, what do you think? And I don't know that anyone could even tell you now what the original plan was for Christopher Reeve and Dr. Swan, because obviously they had something in mind.
I mean, he was supposed to be in 402. There's a script. I think Craig Byrne has a copy of the Gone script that has him in it. But there was all this talk about the secret society when season 4 spoilers started coming out, and ultimately that didn't end up happening, and that got obviously reutilized into Veritas, which was a retcon of so many things. I mean, down to Doomsday being attached to the ship in season 8. It so many things came from out of this Veritas storyline that they really tried to hammer home that it had been there all the time, but it hadn't been. I mean, there's no recognition between Swan and Lionel, really, in that scene of theirs together.
Yeah, outside of just being billionaires who know of each other.
Yeah, who are very aware of each other, but it's not often billionaires come knocking down my door. It's not like they've been in this secret society for the past 20 plus years together. Based on that, which I get, the show ran 10 years. It ran 7 more seasons after this point. There's going to be retconning and stuff, and I appreciate the work that went into building a rich backstory and everything, and that worked out well for Brian Q. Miller in the season 11 run. And obviously, I remember when he took Star Labs and made it Swan Technology and Research, and what a huge, he was so happy he made that work. And there's so many things like that did well as a result of Swan's appearance. But originally, but what could have been, if he had been a more frequent player in season 4, I have no idea. Looking back,
Well,
obviously we
did
got
he-
Margot
he
Kidder
passed- did he pass? He passed before season 4, didn't he?
like a week or two into it. It was October of 04, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I can remember that. I mean,
I remember that day.
in the,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I can. I was going through the loft the other week and I'm sorting out quite a bit of the collection because it's getting a bit of a crazy situation right now. But I found all the newspapers from his passing, and it was. I think it's one of the first times a celebrity's passing had hit me. I think
Yeah.
in a way, it was that one that he'd been such a constant in my whole life, and it was like, oh, this is real. Can I feel this emotion for somebody that I've not really had a personal connection with? And that's when I thought my fandom had hit a new level at that point. But I can remember seeing him in that episode the first time round, and then here in the UK, we didn't really get. We got the Smallville magazine that came out sporadically here. It didn't come out very often, but we didn't. Well, I didn't know who was going to be appearing in what episode to next, and so to have certain surprises along the way, it was that one, especially being one of the most powerful ones. What was it like for you guys, if you can remember that first time you saw those scenes with Christopher, with Tom on Smallville?
From season 2. I'll add, I should remember this because Devoted, season 4, episode 4, is dedicated to Chris. So he died October 10th, 2004. That was the week between episodes 3 and 4 of season 4. But I do remember him being ill and that being discussed why he wasn't returning. And ultimately, Margot Kidder was brought in. To answer your question, I mean, it was a huge deal for me personally because Reeve is what I grew up on as a kid. And to be so invested in this show at the time and ultimately become even more invested in it as the years have gone on, 20 years almost this month. It was, I had such joy watching him on the screen. Not only because he was, people call it a passing of the torch thing, and it was. I even said it a few minutes ago. I don't really, that's not something I usually refer to it as, but it was for all intents and purposes. And there's so much behind the scenes footage and, stuff about how they talked about how, his caretaker wanting him to leave. It was like they've only got him for so many hours. He needs to leave, and he refusing to leave because he wanted to be there and he wanted to do, they were just going to shoot his sides and pick up Tom's later. And they wanted that interaction and all that kind of stuff. But just to see him on screen, period, just to see him, doing something again. By that point, I remember watching the Rear Window remake that he had done, but for it to be a Superman property was huge.
Yeah, the night that season 2 episode aired, I was watching Smallville by myself at that time, and
that's how we watch it. That's how we watch it now too.
Well, but I mean, like after it in season 3, I started watching with friends. I had a group of friends. We'd get together. And
aren't you special?
Yeah, I used to have friends, but I grabbed my phone and ran outside and called a friend of mine who was a comic book guy and a superhero guy, and I said, "Do you watch Smallville? And if not, why? There's what just happened. This is amazing." And they played the music, and it was Christopher Reeve, and he sang things like Krypton and Kal-El, and it was that Rosetta was such a huge episode just in the mythology of Smallville, and to have Christopher Reeve be the person who was doing all that was just so special. It was great to see him there, and then afterwards to hear interviews with Tom talking about the fact that Christopher Reeve was trying to tell him all about Superman and all about the history of Superman. And Tom was like, "No, I don't need to hear this because I'm on this journey. I don't know all this stuff."
Yeah.
But to find out that Christopher Reeve had absolutely immersed himself in knowing the character and knowing the history and everything, as a geek, just meant a lot to me. As someone who was a fan of Christopher Reeve because of his role of Superman, also meant a lot to me because you're in 2000, was that 3 at the time, and in my personal fandom of like Star Wars and everything, you're still in kind of that gray area where Carrie Fisher would go out and make appearances and talk about Princess Leia, but Mark Hamill was still not quite there to embrace the Luke Skywalker of it all. And Harrison Ford, definitely, you didn't mention Han Solo to him unless you were Conan O'Brien. And, so there were a lot of these great people that I used to love as a kid and had loved, my whole life, that were kind of pushing away the stuff that we loved them for. And to know that Christopher Reeve had totally embraced the persona of Superman, just that ended up meaning as much to me or more than seeing him. So so that's kind of where I was. And then to see this episode and to kind of the shades of gray that they painted Swan with in this episode in Legacy was jarring, but it was so interesting. And I do kind of, obviously a man passed away, so that's the tragedy in of itself. But then to know that there could have been some other places to take this whole thing, and whether it was retcon or not, it would have been neat to kind of see where they went with this character, because you wanted to believe he always had Clark's best interest at heart. Mm-hmm. And in this, it gave you just enough to kind of question, did he really?
And because of his death, we don't know what those paths were. I mean, even Bridget Crosby was painted a little gray,
right?
In her few appearances, Margot's few appearances, and then we don't get the key back till late season 4, when Clark does learn of Swan's passing, and in the event of his death, that the key is returned to Clark. So you're led to believe he's just got it for safekeeping, so we don't have to keep playing who's got the key for multiple seasons, because that's a game we had to play so much early on because it jumped around. There was also, I distinctly remember conversations when this episode aired with Tucker talking about is Jor-El acting through Jonathan. There's that moment where he calls him Kal-El at the beginning of the episode, and he's like, why did you call me Kal-El? He's like, I don't know. I'm going to throw this weather vane now. So there were just so many. I feel like this episode opened the door for so many possibilities of storytelling that ultimately didn't really happen. And then later came back, but in very warped ways. And I don't mean that in a negative content. It's just the hand that was dealt, and they were like, how do we better world build something that came out of these characters that we don't have access to anymore for whatever reason. And we bring in Swan's daughter. I still think it was a missed opportunity to not have Brandon Routh play Swan Jr. I think that would have been an excellent, because that would have been post returns, and when we knew he wasn't coming back in the role, I think that would have been a good way to utilize him and kind of bridge that even further, because of how many people related Routh to Reeve, and obviously that was a big deal of why he was cast in the role. But I always thought that would have been a good way to tie that in later.
Did we know for certain while they were doing? I mean, when did we know for certain there wasn't going to be a follow-up to Superman Returns? It wasn't until well beyond the Veritas stuff. And
no, but she doesn't come in. Let's see. Does she come in late season 7 or season 8? I can't remember. I think it was late season 7. So at that point, no, we did not know, because that would have been 08, and it wasn't till late 09 that we knew that it wasn't going to happen. It being a return sequel. So yeah, but I still feel it was a missed opportunity to, I don't know, bridge a gap, I guess. Like, it's just, there was so much promise with this. And I love that we got Margot, but there's so much that we didn't get. We never got a net scene with Chris.
Right.
Which was sad.
That would have just been beautiful if that would have happened.
I know. And I'm glad she and Margot got one together, but they only ever had one scene together and barely address each other in Superman 3. So I don't know. I don't know what would have come of it. We could 20 however many years later now, armchair quarterback that to the ends of the earth, but I know things I would have liked to have seen happened. I don't wish that he had been. Excuse me. I do not wish that he had been Jor-El. Whether in physical form or otherwise, I don't think that would have been a good move.
No, I like the idea of I like the idea that they'd set up for him that he was this guy who had all this wealth and everything, and when he finally got this signal, that he basically went into seclusion to figure everything out, you know, and that he realized this is bigger than me, and this is something. And then once he meets Clark, realizes, all right, this is this kid's life, and I'm going to help him. I'm not going to expose him. You know, and then to know that he had the key. There was something about him having the key at the end of Legacy that even back then I'm like, that's weird. It blows my mind. How did that get there? Of course, we never really get those answers, and that's fine. But at the same time, you knew it was safe. Like, I never doubted the safety and security now of the key and Clark's secret. As long as Clark doesn't screw it up, Swan's not going to let the cat out of the bag.
No. What chemistry you got between the two of them, and I love whenever you see a powerful scene like that. And I think with Christopher Reeve scenes in Smallville with Tom's, it's the one that often gets played on an anniversary or a birthday of Christopher Reeve. It's those moments of just those two talking, and if we could have gotten a little bit more of that in future episodes, those moment of just what I feel was a trusting line of communication between the two, and that they believed in each other, and that Clark was like, this guy's giving me some fantastic wisdom here. Can I trust him? What's going to happen here? Where could this sort of go? It was beautiful moments that, as you say, it's always going to be a what if situation if we ever got those episodes, but I would have loved to have gotten some more.
And
with this episode, they gave Swan a catchphrase and everything. Activate screen. Listen, when he says activate screen, the music build up in that moment is like, this is the most intense, amazing thing.
The note. I mean, he was the guy in the chair. I mean, I'm not being ugly when saying that. I'm being totally respectful saying that. But
it doesn't sound like it.
I promise, in all respect. But even the cues at the end of the episode when the key is revealed and over the credits, pop, like it's just some of the heaviest notes they ever hit. That Mark Snow ever hit on the show, and it's like, what is going to come of this? And ultimately, nothing. And to their credit, they tried. I mean, there were subsequent episodes where Clark was like, "I've been emailing with Dr. Swan," and that kind of stuff, where they tried to implement it, but it was hard to do without his presence.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to totally whiplash and change it because we have not really discussed Crisis, guys.
Okay, let's talk about Crisis.
Let's go back.
I just want. There's one point I want to make.
It's one of Steve's favorite episodes, so we have to talk about it. It's one of my
favorite episodes because it's one of we get this amazing moment that is the zoom in, enhance of audio technology, where Clark's like, wait, I heard something. Can I have that? And he zooms in and enhances on the audio that and as someone who's been doing very amateur audio editing for 9 to 2 decades now or more, I've not yet figured out how to click a few buttons and enhance the smallest thing in the background.
I own an audio engineering company, and I still don't understand how Chloe was.
It's the zoom in and enhance of audio equipment is what it is.
Well, that was always a thing that was like, I can remember endless conversations with Tucker about this because I think this was one of the tipping points of, can you hear, something recorded? Can you hear more of something that's not technically there? Can you, and I don't feel like it's really any different than if he was watching a videotape of Jonathan at age 25 and Jonathan had something in his pocket.
Yeah.
Could he have x-rayed through, like, It's not there.
No, yeah,
It's
you
like
can't-
the Blade Runner situation where you're zooming in and you pan to the left
Right.
a little bit, and then you go to something that's not actually on camera or on that audio reel.
Right.
So, yeah, you
Well,
can't
the
really
thing-
zoom in onto a pixel.
I guess the difference is the signal was there. Like he could hear the signal, and then it's just a matter of isolating that sound and, well, zooming in and enhancing in an audio format. So he could hear everything that was in that recording, and it was just a matter of getting the audio to where everyone else could hear it. But the problem with that is if I'm recording right now and there's something that's called in the background, even on like this condenser mic where there's something that's called in the background, if I go into my
If the dog starts barking.
the dog starts barking and I go into my audio editing software, like, number one, I've got to get rid of all the other noise than the dog barking, which is me talking and anything else that may be going on. Then I've got to get that little piece of audio volumed up. And I'm kind of talking to myself into the fact that it can be done. The problem is the distortion part of it all. Like, it was so distorted.
There's
and
too
everything.
much static, too much rain, everything else
Derek,
overpowering it.
Right, Derek, I take you back to years ago with Starkville House of L, when we used to record both of our audio separately, and I would upload it to you, and you would edit them together. We'd be on the phone, literally a physical phone, talking, and then do it that way. And you called me up after one particular.
We just blew Luke's mind with how old the technology.
Just, wow, this is fantastic.
Well, there wasn't, we had Skype finally when that became a thing.
But you couldn't record a Skype conversation unless you had like 5 different boards, and sound cards and everything. But you called me up and you're like, hey, have you deleted your audio yet? I'm like, no. You're like, it's really messed up. And I'm like, what do you mean it's really messed up? You're like, well, there's just this echo on it. And so I get back to where my recording stuff is, and I'm looking, and on the board I had at the time, there was a button that had to be pushed in, or else the effects would be turned on.
Yeah.
And you would turn on an echo effect or a reverb effect. And so essentially, my whole recording was in this. It sounded like I'm in a vast chamber.
You sounded like one of the elders, which is how guilty became one of the longest running jokes of this show.
So in this great episode, blah blah blah, and I'm like, yes, it's amazing. Kneel before me. Guilty. And so that started the whole guilt. Now I've never had a board like that since, where I can just press a button and go to echoing. But
yeah, because on this board you have to do like 14 different things to get to that.
Yeah, and but what we discovered then, because we sent it to Graham, we sent it to all kinds, trying to figure out can we get rid of this echo, and you really couldn't.
Because that's the way it was recorded. Like that's
right. The distortion, you can't quite get rid of all that distortion necessarily, and so that's where the enhance comes in. So like if you have it's the pixelated picture that they're like zoom in, enhance, zoom in, enhance.
It's the CSI of it all.
What software?
That's it.
We don't have that CBS money to.
That's right. Yeah. But that's also like the other thing is like there's literally 3 bars he was dealing with.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's not how GEQs work either. You've got
No, and I would love to know the direction they were telling Tom, because Tom's just like he's done it 100 times. Is that even Tom's hands? We don't know. But like the keystrokes he was using, it was like, this is I've done this 1400. It's like me uploading an episode. It was like secondhand nature to him. Just
it's
muscle
like
memory.
I've got at our church, we have a digital soundboard, and there's stuff and I can use an iPad to control it from just down anywhere that's connected to it, and there are times where I'll hit the wrong button and I'll be off in something and I don't understand anything that's happening with those sliders and those things. And I'm like, oh my God, how do I get back so I don't destroy this whole thing? You can't do it. And that's the one thing that really sticks out to me about this episode. And I hate to be that guy that tears down the episode, because I think it was a neat concept. I think it was fun for them to try to alter the future, but then to see everything happen, from her putting on the sweater and, the storm coming in, and just everything that happens leading up to that opening teaser, as you see those things fall into place, like there is no fate but what we make, according to John Connor, but not according to Smallville.
Well, and this is the third, by this point, this is the third Smallville episode where we've changed the future.
I love time travel though, so it's fun.
Oh, I do too. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
this respect to the space-time continuum, they do it well, sound waves or not.
you've got Hourglass in season 1, where ultimately that did I just thumbs up and it did a thumbs up on screen? I don't like that.
It did.
I don't like that at all.
See? That didn't happen when you first started recording this, did you?
Don't do that, Steve. No, with the face. No, quit giving it. You're feeding the machine. It's learning my. I don't like that.
Thing?
Don't do a heart.
There's
What? There's a
lots of
heart?
things you can do. There's a heart. There's a thumbs down that you can do, depending on what. But yes, I've turned mine off.
That's weird. All right. Anyway,
Anyways,
so maybe you can isolate the audio, but not in 2004. You couldn't.
no,
We're learning.
there's a few changes.
What is this?
Wait a minute. I need to go
technology?
back to Hourglass. How did they change the future in Hourglass?
Well, Clark doesn't end up being in the cemetery of all the people he loves, his loved ones dead,
Well,
and
not
there's
yet, but
stuff
down
like
the
that.
road,
Well,
Harold-
I'm just saying. Doesn't something happen with Lana too, where it's like I can't remember now, but ultimately, or glimpses of the future. I don't know, but then hereafter, that changes as well. So I call this the third time.
Okay.
And that thumbs up completely made me lose my train of thought. That's creepy. I don't like that. I don't like the future.
This also added to everyone's frustration of Lana not knowing, because Clark absolutely saves her life, and there's no way he could have gotten there, and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe something with the duration of the call and the time and the whatnot.
Yeah, I ran through a wormhole.
A wormhole, yeah. Ironically, he would go through a wormhole later.
When he goes to that other universe?
No, the cave. They refer to that as the...
Oh.
when they go to the fortress.
I never knew that was referred to as a wormhole.
Yeah, like once. I don't like it.
Okay.
I never was good with the semantics of how that worked.
The cave taking him to the fortress?
Uh-huh. And then they reveal it in Reckoning, and I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
It was very wormhole-esque.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. The Omega Hedron took it all down.
That's right. It sure did. God, what was I going to say before that creepy thumbs up came on the screen and totally distort? Don't feed the beast. Don't do that. Technology. It was supposed to be like the Jetsons, people. We were supposed to be on poles, and briefcases were supposed to fold up, and now it's...
Luke's on a pole every now and again, I understand.
Oh.
Comics ain't cheap in the UK. There's tariffs now.
He had to do what he had to do. Respect.
Thank you.
What was I going to say? It doesn't
I said all due respect. You can say whatever you want to after I say all due respect.
Oh, is that it? Yeah, you can say anything. as long as you preface it with that. I don't remember. There was something else about this episode that it was the audio. Oh, I do love, this wasn't it, but speaking of that, I do love how, with the ease at which they do the audio editing.
Yeah.
And they're like, the Viper's aren't even set to play yet. And then we don't minimize the audio editing and pull up a browser. We push off from the desk and roll to a desk behind us to then check the sports and the weather on a totally different computer.
That's right.
Because the first computer was using up all its memory.
No tabs on that one.
Now,
No extra windows at all.
I will say, I can
get it.
relate to that.
I get it.
I
Yeah.
get that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the podcast computer. Don't touch that. You want to check your email? Use that computer.
I mean, in 2004, I was still having to, if there was like a trailer or something that came out and I wanted to get it on QuickTime, I was still having to just set it that night. And go to bed.
We were discussing this the other day, you and I, with Well, what trailer were we discussing now? I can't even
Well,
remember.
you name any of the Star Wars trailers, and that was me.
Well, that's
like,
something that was born out of it. But we had a 45-minute phone call the other day talking about, you could go see Meet Joe Black. Oh, it was people
Phantom
complaining.
Menace trailer, yeah.
It was people complaining about the 5-minute Superman preview being in front of Minecraft, and I was like, clearly you people didn't go see Meet Joe Black
that's right.
just to see the Phantom Menace back in the day.
Is that what they attached it to back in the day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's fandoms, isn't it? That's wow.
Yeah, at least Attack of the Clones was in front of Monsters Inc. Yeah, that
But
at least made
I
a
was
little
out of
more
the
sense.
loop on the Meet Joe Black thing, and so I was even out of the loop on the Phantom Menace trailer. This was 1999. I wasn't all over the internets and everything, and so I stumbled into a Phantom Menace trailer before Enemy of the State. After having seen the Austin Powers trailer, that was kind of done like a Star Wars
mocking
trailer.
it. Hold on, I know this isn't Geek Out Loud.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't aware?
No, in 1999 I was a poverty-stricken college student.
Is this like
98, 99, and so
is this backstory that's important that we're not aware of? Because like I was fully like I remember it happening. Like I remember the lead.
No,
I'm shocked.
I didn't have TV. I didn't have internet. Like I had to go to the school computer lab to do internet, or a friend's house. I didn't have my own computer. I had nothing, and so we just happened to go see a movie, and I can't remember what movie it was. I just remember it was crap. But before the movie, there was the Austin Powers trailer where there's like the Imperial window.
I remember.
I'm like, and I was like, that's funny. And I knew Star Wars was coming out. I knew the prequels were coming, but I didn't know that it was time for a teaser yet. And so we left whatever movie we'd seen because it wasn't good. And we went to the guy at the front, like, listen, this movie's crap. Can we go see it? And he's like, yeah, Enemy of the State starting. So we went to see Enemy of the State with Will Smith and Gene Hackman.
Great movie.
And before that movie rolled, here comes the teaser for the Phantom Menace. Every journey has a beginning. Every legend.
Gungans. Yeah, all that. Yeah.
And I just remember being like, oh my God, how do I see this again? And
So that trailer was out for 18 days
before I saw it.
before you saw it.
That's how out of the loop I was in 1998.
That's wild. That's wild.
Well, Derek, I walked out of that theater.
Who'd you
saying,
call
"Never
me?"
again." Derek.
That's not what you called me.
I almost said David for some reason.
You sure did.
I know. I don't know why. Derek, I walked out of that theater saying, never again. Never again will I not know what's happening in my beloved
And
world.
look what happened to you.
Yeah.
Look at the curse you brought upon yourself.
And it was a curse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Because let me tell you.
What is
the
this
last
crap?
Jedi.
Enemy of this. Oh wait, that's Meet Joe Black's 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, I'll accept that. 71% Enemy of the State. Okay, that's better. I mean, Meet Joe Black does have the best car crash of all.
Well,
time
I don't know.
on
I was saying Meet Joe Black brought that up, and that's one of my favorite bits on film is someone just getting wiped out of nowhere.
And boy, does he.
I mean, like I'm over it now, but many years ago, I got run down by a car.
Oh,
There was a time.
Way to go, Steve!
Bring the mood right down.
It was one of his favorite bits. But follow-up question, he's going to all due respect.
All due respect, I don't care. It was a funny scene. I mean,
Can we get the CCTV footage of that?
Was it. Because it wasn't just how many cars does he get hit by, and then like a bus as well, and like a marching band.
He gets hit,
and
pops on another one, and then lands back on another. I think, or maybe.
I mean, he was crossing the road. I was on a pavement when it happened for me, or a sidewalk for those international listeners.
you didn't listen to David Prowse's rules about crossing the street back in the day?
I wasn't crossing. I was stationary, looking into a shop window.
Well, that's the problem. You were standing in the road looking at it.
I was on the sidewalk, looking into a window.
Oh, so someone careened out of control and hit you.
It was pretty much like a really bad episode of Smallville because I didn't move or nobody pushed me out of the way. Just went straight in the window and back out again.
Oh my goodness, that's horrible.
But yeah, let's talk about people getting run down against them, shall we,
Okay,
Steve?
great. I've been rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and there's the episode where they have this big moment with Gina, And she like walks down the street. She's like, "Yeah, I'm Gina. I'm Gina." All of a sudden, a bus just comes out of nowhere and
Boom.
her.
I can sense them now. I think after watching Final Destination so many times and Mean Girls, I know when someone's going to get run over.
Final Destination. When that girl turns around and tells everybody to drop effing dead, and then the bus just smacks her. We rewound that and watched that. I mean, we wore out the videotape watching that again, and even slow-moed it just to watch drop every.
What kind of car was it, Luke?
It was an Alfa Romeo. It was red. I can still see the blow when I close my eyes. Thanks, Derek.
What I'm here for, buddy. Thumbs up, AI. Oh, there you go.
Please happen. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Thumbs up for trauma. Woo!
All due respect.
All due respect, but I love that bit in television and movies.
In real life, not so much.
Not so much. No, I don't recommend it. I'll give it a thumbs down. In fact.
Well, the sound effects aren't there in real life. That's what makes it funny.
No.
And this is the reason everyone tunes into this show for moments like this.
20 years, baby.
Let me tell you.
I'm biting my lip every time you bring up that Bucky's mug. I'm biting my lip. I keep seeing it rolling to the side.
Look, everyone was sitting there like, why are they talking about that's so sweet. They're talking about Christopher Reeve. That's really nice. Those are some really nice thoughts. Mm-hmm. That's pretty funny. That's cute. Steve's bringing up the audio edit. All right, here's what I'm here for. Steve's talking about people getting run over, and now there's Luke.
Now here's Luke to put you in your place.
That's right.
Just to bring you a little bit closer back down to earth.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh.
So this was Christopher Reeve's final acting role before his death.
Really?
It was. I was just trying to bring it home for us.
It's been a smooth segue again.
Yes, absolutely. What were we talking about before the car crash? Star Wars trailers? I don't know how we got off on all that. I can't path that backwards. But anyway, there was something about that software though, Steve, that made me. And I can't remember what it was now when I was rewatching last night.
Well, they did Max in the Torch, didn't they? So it would have been an actual.
Oh, it was Mac. Yeah. I mean, it looks like It looks like they, Winamp had an editing software that they're using, or it really kicks the llama's ass.
Winamp.
Yeah. You like a good Winamp reference?
I was watching something the other day, and someone mentioned the visualizations on Windows Media. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
When you play.
Oh, yes. When I downloaded Winamp for the first time. Do you have Winamp?
Yeah.
That's what we were just talking about. Did you? Where did you go? You were still thinking about the car. You were replaying the car crash, weren't you?
I was really. It was a head injury as well.
Well,
it wasn't. It was a hip. It was just the hip. It was fine. I've been tested.
Go ahead, Steve.
Well, you had Windows Media Player, which is just your basic, came with everything. Was Winamp? Was it a bit of an editor kind of thing?
No, it was just a player, but it had all the sliders and it had a visualization thing too. But it was very much a just a player.
And then Real Player tried to get something going, but that
was terrible. That was what I had to you load. You talking about loading up a trailer? That's what I was loading up. Phantom Menace on, and it was like, you can watch this in 46 hours. All right, I'll just go pay.
Well, then QuickTime, then they come around with the QuickTime stuff, and that was the way to go. But again, you're talking about on a dial-up or even a DSL line. Mm-hmm. You're taking forever. DSL, how about that for back in the day? DSL. Remember, we thought those speeds were amazing.
Well, see, but by the time Attack of the Clones came out, I was at college, and we had a T1 line.
Oh my god!
So
see, I was on a dial-up out in the country.
Oh, I was downloading everything, baby. I don't even remember.
Is that the LimeWire generation?
Oh, yeah. Well, this was just at the end of Napster, too.
There was, and after that, Kazaa. There was something called.
I never did Kazaa or LimeWire, really. Once Napster was over, I was done.
I couldn't let it die for a couple of years, so I did do some LimeWire and some Kazaa.
How many computers did you infect?
You know what? I was always pretty good about checking because at that point, like, you knew that people were just trying to stick stuff in there. So you there was, I don't know, I was pretty good about downloading the right stuff.
File names with 14 underscores in them. And
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I was pretty good about downloading the right thing.
how'd they get the boron symbol in there? I don't even know how they did that.
Oh,
Goodness. I'm glad the Adam Knight stuff's over with.
yeah. And I'm sure we've all talked about how everyone was convinced he was Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
for the longest time.
And then, of course, like most everybody else, he gets to find out that, Clark's special right before he dies.
Right.
Yeah.
Figures out he's invincible. He took that bullet. That's impossible. I do like, me. I like time travel. I'm a huge time travel guy, so I really remember being into that one back in the day. Graham was a huge Linkin Park fan. I remember him loving that line about Clark missing one too many Linkin Park concerts, and that's how he heard the the audio. How he picked up that audio, I'll never know. Yeah. But we even hear it in the phone call, like the original phone call. You can hear the game, the announcer in the call.
He runs by. Yeah.
Thank God the crisis hotline records everything.
That's why they call it Crisis.
Yeah. I mean, they're walking in. They're walking in the center, and Clark even makes a bad. I think Lana's got a crisis of her own with that term paper or whatever.
It only took me
21 years.
Yeah, 21 years to get that.
All that, and we
burn.
don't get to use a true Crisis on Infinite Earth title later. Down the line, and 10 years later, as a result. But that's fine. That's fine. I can't do that as well as you can.
Well, that's fine. It's okay that
But you didn't follow up. You got to do the double.
That's fine.
Yeah, see, I can't do that. That's good. There's something in Legacy I wanted to discuss. Pete Ross and Chloe Sullivan do not appear in this episode. Both of the Reeve episodes, unfortunately, are marred by Lana stuff. Rosetta has the horrible B plot with her dad.
Oh, yeah.
Going on, and it's like, why did we need that? We did not need that in this episode at all, regardless of the fact that they were trying to juxtapose, her looking into her past with Clark looking into his and all that. But that ruins it. And then we've also got Lana stuff in this episode, and it's like, we didn't need that here. And at the time watching originally, it's like, well, this is what happened week to week. This is not uncommon. Right. This is just normal run-of-the-mill stuff. And now watching it, I'm like, move on. Y'all aren't going to be together. Quit pining. It's not going to happen anyway.
Well, we also get the big fight with Jonathan and Lionel.
Duking it out.
Yeah.
It's even a line Jonathan says in the episode in the cemetery. Talking about duking it out. I'm like, I see what you did there.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a great... It was... The speed with which the Jor-El stuff seeming to come home to roost back in the day really made you think, or at least made me think, I was like, okay, well, he's going to die in the finale. Like, we know... they're going to kill Jonathan, like probably. I mean, that's, a constant. A lot of people clamor for that these days and think that the Kent should be dead. I don't understand that one bit. But knowing the toll that it took on him and the heart surgery and everything, and then, this episode with the whole message being like, I'm waiting. Right.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. It was like, oh, well, they're going to kill Jonathan off. And then we get through the end of season 3. And of course, it ends with him passed out in the cave, and then he's in a coma through most of Crusade of 401. And then we get through season 4, and he's fine and doesn't die. And I was like, oh, well, they may let this ride for a little while. And then, of course, 100th episode, we lose him. But, it seemed very much like, oh, they're going to take him sooner rather than later, especially after this episode. Do you remember thinking that, Steve?
Yeah, and I always have to put myself in the place of how long it felt between these episodes. Like, it on one hand, when you go and watch them back to back, you realize, oh, that's not a lot of time. But then when we were then, it was, and it was always this thing. It was a cloud that was hanging over, and I did think he was going to die. I thought that would be it. I did think maybe in the finale of season 3 he would die, and if not, then of course, and it was set up perfectly for him because it would have been quote unquote kind of Clark's fault and all that stuff. Like Clark would have been able to blame himself and all that good stuff, but when he didn't, I think by the end of season 4, I was kind of like, all right, well, we've moved on from that then. Jarrell's done, whatever the case may be, until we start to ramp up in season 5. And it just felt, it was always kind of there hanging over your head, and then it kind of eased off. And then, of course, 100 was like the gut punch.
I think I've said before, but I felt back in the day that and obviously season 5 is such a turning point for the show when we finally get there. The series is really 3 acts. It's seasons 1 through 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then 8, 9, and 10 or Act 3, and vastly different acts among them. And while 5 is the midway point, halfway of the series, and to look back, it's like, yes, it made sense to get like the fortress and stuff like that. I think getting the fortress as early as we did, come the season 4 finale, season 5 premiere, is a direct result of not having access to Swan anymore. In many ways, because he did have that one lifeline to his legacy, for lack of a better word. But once that gets taken away and Swan dies, in the midst of this battle for the 3 stones that ultimately lead to the fortress, I always thought was the reason that happened so early was because of losing Swan.
Well, and do you think that what was her name? Crosby? Is that the name? That was
Bridget Crosby.
Bridget Crosby. Didn't she kind of piss off the Smallville folks because she didn't like the way they handled Christopher Reeve?
No, they wanted her to be the one to tell Clark, and she didn't like that. She didn't think she should be the one. She thought that was in poor taste, and I don't disagree with that. That her delivering the news, while that would have been very impactful, I don't. That was a friend of hers, and I feel like that was her choice to make, and I fully respect that. As a result, would that have been something? And then I think that kind of fell apart from there, and then we get that weird episode where she's dead and her legs are sticking out of the ground, and it's like, okay. That we didn't get to do more with that character as a result. And that's why we ultimately brought in Swan's daughter on down the road, who was also the daughter of Bridget.
Oh, you never know.
Was she?
Never know.
Oh,
Did that get said in that episode? God, season 7 just seems like such a weird...
Listen, season 7 and season 8 both.
Yes.
They both really run together. Like, there's a lot about them that run together. Patricia Swan was her name.
Yeah, I remember. I was just trying to remember if there was some kind of... Born in 82, childhood friends with Lex Luthor, Oliver Queen, and Jason T, because they used to play together while their parents were at their meeting years after her father died. Blah, 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 blah. Anything about Crosby on this page? Nope. All right. Maybe I just made that up in my head. Well, there was that Martha asks if they were an item, and she's like a lifetime ago or in a different, lifetime and stuff like that. Yeah. So there was obviously some element of
reference,
of romance there between them at one time, but I wonder. It seems like I thought that they alluded to the fact that she was both of their childs. Both,
you think that's just
both
headcanon?
There, huh?
You think that's just headcanon?
I guess so. I've forgotten more than I remembered.
Over the years, have any of you gentlemen get the chance to meet Margot Kidder at any conferences
No.
at all over the years?
No. Did you?
My first ever con was 2017 in London Film and Comic Con, and it was my first time going to an event, and I was rather quite nervous, and I'd planned the whole trip. Had a book. I actually got it out. It was, as I mentioned, I was going through my storage and I found my little journal that I took with me that had my times and my schedules and my maps of where to go. And I was the most nervous to meet Margot. I was going to meet Sarah. I met Sarah Douglas that weekend, Michael Rosenbaum and Dean Kane. So it was a fantastic weekend of building memories at my first ever con. But I went to Margot's desk first of all to greet her, give her a thank you card and a little letter, as I always like to give out to people that I meet at cons. And she didn't turn up. She was rather unwell, and she didn't return that whole weekend. But as I was in front of her queue waiting to meet her, Sarah Douglas came out in a ball of energy and went, "Darling, she's not coming, but you can come and see me instead." And a hug was happened, and a friendship was born from that moment. But never got to meet the lovely Margot,
Well,
but I met Sarah Douglas instead.
Sarah Douglas was used to stepping into public events for the cast of Superman.
She did a fantastic job.
And wasn't she like one of the very few people that are actually out there in public for Superman 2 after all the Donner stuff? Yeah.
Super geek. I could see you saying that to you, Luke.
Oh, super geek.
But no, she was lovely. She was a lovely lady. Is a lovely lady.
Anything else on these two? Man, Patricia got shot and killed. I forgot about that. Man, that's spoiler alert for season 7 if we ever get there. Again, we already got there.
Well,
if we get back there,
Well, if we're talking about legacy, Derek, can we talk a little bit about your legacy?
I'd rather not.
And this podcast. Why not? Well, tough luck. We are.
Yes, do it, Luke. Do it.
I know I'm a guest on here and all, but you've been doing this now for almost 20 years.
You're a collaborator at this point. You're a frequent.
Okay, then. Well, then you can't deny it, and you're going to have to do it. Otherwise, I'm going to leave. But yes.
Where's his mute button?
How does it feel to be doing this still 20 years down the line?
Very depressing. Thank you. Next question.
Yeah, and that's why we keep coming back, isn't it? That's why it continues to happen, and you're still talking about this show so fondly 2 decades down the line.
If I played golf or hunted or something, I'd have some other hobby and wouldn't have to do it. But this is where we are at this point in our lives.
Well, there you are, and that's it. And here you are, though, because I've seen the photographic proof of you being a very young child in a Superman costume. This is your legacy, as it were. As you said, and you've mentioned a few times before podcasts were a thing, you were podcasting, you just didn't know you were doing it. And now, 20 years down the line, you're doing a fantastic job of it to this day, with passionate listeners, passionate people wanting to come back and talk to you about this show and their love for these characters. And as legacies go, that's not a bad one to have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your check's in the mail. Oh, thanks. Steve chimed in. He's reading. He's not even here with us right now.
No, I'm here. When Luke begins to speak eloquently, you just step back and let.
This is true. You let the Brit talk,
right?
Because he's going to make it sound better than we possibly could ever.
It's been a joy. I think when we started talking, and when I was a guest on your podcast, and somebody else didn't turn up for something else, we started talking, and in that moment, I've mentioned this on podcasts and in my day-to-day life when I talk in customer service, I have to read somebody very quickly, and I think when we started talking, even before the microphones were even recording, there was a fantastic chemistry there. Much like when I've had the great opportunity of meeting Steve for the first time and talking. There was friendships there, and it built instantly. But I've seen you do that now with this show, and over that 20-year legacy. It's something that was clearly literally a project of passion that has turned now into. How many fan pages do you know of that have gone on for almost 2 decades?
Not many.
Yes,
Most people.
there are a
Most
few
people wise
out
up
there.
and they're like,
most people give up, but
give up
most
or
people
age
give
out.
up or are all cancelled. But you've stuck at it, not for the fact that you. I mean, yes, it's for the listeners, of course, but you enjoy doing it. You've clawed onto that passion for it and that love for Superman and the love for this show. And from doing that, you've talked to creators of the show. You've talked to the people that have made it happen. And later on this year, you're going back to that Smallville celebration where you will be on a stage sharing your passions with the people that were on this show. As a fan, that's what you are at the bottom line. It's a blooming big way. I'm trying to bite my tongue and not say any swear words because I don't want to upset Steve. But the work that you've put in for the passion that is your life of Superman fandom, it's amazing. And it's inspiring to be a very small cog in that wheel, but I've seen the work that you put in, and I know that I'm very thankful, and all the listeners and watchers around the world and the creators of Smallville are thankful for, because I've watched their interviews with you, and it's a beautiful thing. So thank you for 20 years, and I'll be back on the 30th.
Oh, God. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. They sound very nice coming out of your accent.
But what I really enjoyed was the fact that you were being so awkward listening to it. That's the only reason I did it.
Is that why you did
I could.
Good job. It's a very selfish thing because I don't get to hang out. My closest friends are spread out all over the world, and I don't get to see you guys regularly. If I'm lucky, I get to see some of you, once a year. So this is very much my opportunity to get to quote unquote hang out and talk about one of our favorite things. So it is a very selfish thing in some regards, but it's, I don't know, I just enjoy doing it. It's fun to get to talk to people that I enjoy and respect their opinions and their takes on things, and I consider it a privilege to have gotten to do it for 2 decades. I don't know about another decade. If I make it that long, we'll see. I'm an old man, Luke.
You're only sitting down. You're not doing much, are you?
Yep.
You're not going to another desk to do something else. It's all on one system now.
That's the thing, right? I don't have to uncover the audio on this one and roll over to another one to do something else. If I got up and walked, maybe I'd live longer. But here I am sitting here with the likes of you. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's been great. I mean, getting to meet you so recently, but I also have that same feeling in getting to interact with you that I got, out of Steve reaching out of the blue.
Shut your mouth.
18 something, years ago, getting that email from him. And what
Have you still got it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Affirmations. Yeah. I can pull that up any old time and be like, look, you came to me, you son of a...
That's right. Everything he says is true. Listen, I've told Derek this a million times. I was a fan before we were ever friends. And, listening to him and the guys, him and Will and Tucker, and I guess there was someone named Houston that I just don't remember at all.
Yeah, Houston.
Who is that? Now, but to actually reach out and then for Derek to be in a position where he's like, okay, I want to keep this going, but we're all kind of splitting and parting ways. So how do I keep this going? And he reached out to me and said, would you guest host? And I'm like, I remember just trying to play it cool, like, oh, sure, man, I'll do that. I'll be happy to do that. And inside I was just like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing that's ever happened in the history of my life. And then to get the call back and finally, well, you want to just keep doing this? And like Derek was real cool about it and I was real cool about it. But at the same time, I'm like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in the history of my life. And, from the, and out of that birth, several startups and stops and everything else, trying to just capture the lightning in the bottle that was House of L. And you just can't, I mean, there's no replacement. It doesn't matter if it's Sky Next or Human Target or
Cooking with Derek.
Cooking with Derek.
Never got picked up.
We never got
Never
that.
got
So
picked
Tron. The joke, not the movie.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there is a legacy here. And and I don't know that people know it's Derek is and the guys that were with Derek at the time. These guys were blazing a trail that other people would have to follow. And it's like you say, there's not a lot of people that were around 20 years ago that are still around today. And there have been ups and downs, and there have been low points and slow points and high points and everything else. But at the same time, there has been a certain consistent presence of the House of L around line and on, and around fandom and everything. And, unfortunately, back in the day, people were real territorial about a lot of stuff. And House of L was never like that. House of L was always shouting out Krypton's site, shouting out homepage, whatever we could do, to try to enhance the fandom. And I think the only thing that I did that really tore any fandom down was when we had some forums, I would really troll the Heroes fans because they were all very serious. but the House of L guys,
I forgot about that.
I mean, I pissed a lot of people off.
Steve's not forgotten. He's relishing in that moment. That was a beautiful giggle.
Look, there was now. Listen, who won? Smallville outlasted Heroes by a
long shot.
2, yeah. But the Heroes fandom was almost as serious as the Lost fandom, man. And so if you went in their forum acting a fool and being silly, they did not like it one bit at all. And meanwhile, we're up in the Smallville forums, and there was the episode Hero coming out in season 7. Like, who's it going to be? Who's the hero going to be? And I mean, we worked it around to Animal from the Muppets being the hero. But I think that's one of the things that's been so great.
Lana.
That's right. Yeah, Lana. That's one of the great things that has been about this show and about this community is that we've had fun with everything. We don't make fun. We have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And because ultimately that's what this should all be. There should be a sense of release and fun with all of this stuff. And Derek set that table. The minute he picked up Aquaman while he was wearing a Superman shirt, he showed us it's okay to let your geek flag fly no matter who you're in front of. So,
I don't think he knows that story.
Okay, I'll tell you.
I've read though.
Yeah, Derek picked up Aquaman, and Derek was wearing a Superman shirt when he picked up Aquaman from the airport. End of story.
Can I tell my side of it?
Proceeded to interview him wearing that
No,
shirt.
I did not. No, I did not proceed to interview him while wearing that shirt.
Wearing a wrinkly shirt then.
No, it was a nice
Right.
polo. It was a nice polo.
That was your side. We'll stick with the truth, but Derek, let's hear your side as well.
So, okay, I'll tell this story and then we'll close. So, Alan Richardson was coming to Starkville for Free Comic Book Day. He was making an appearance at a comic book store, and the owner of the comic book store in Starkville asked if I would, be the kind of face of it for that weekend or whatever, and work with him and everything, and if I would, pick him up from the airport and kind of, be his go guy for the weekend. And I was like, absolutely. Well, he gave me the wrong date to pick him up. So the guy calls me and he's like, hey, are you there? Like the flight got delayed, but he's going to land in like 20 minutes. And I was like, no. And I don't know what I was doing. I was like cleaning house or something, but I was, as I was at most times in my youth, in a Superman t-shirt when he called me. So I didn't think about what I was wearing when I went to the airport to get the guy, and I didn't need one of those signs because it was pretty evident when he was coming off the plane. He was like, I think I'm here for you. And I was like, oh, God. Steve has never let me live that down.
Good.
To this day.
I'm very happy about that.
It wasn't. The thing is, though, it wasn't the bright blue with the S shirt. It was the shirt that looked like it'd been ripped off.
No, it wasn't that one. It was Superman Returns. It was like a 3D Superman Returns with the little S's making it up. It was like a dark navy. I remember it.
It was the black shirt with the rip.
I had that one too, but it wasn't that one.
Well, that's the one you were in the video with him then.
No, the video of me and him, I'm wearing like a polo shirt.
I don't think that's right.
No, it's absolutely right, because that interview did not happen the same day. I made sure not to wear, and it was a result of you, because you were like, you literally picked him up.
I didn't know you then. The guys gave you a hard time. This was like that was still during like season 5, season 6.
Was it? I thought we were recording by that point.
No, because I even think prior to the wrinkly shirt episode.
Get to the archives and find this footage.
Tim, drop it in
I don't
right
know.
now.
Have you gone to our new website yet? Superhouseofl.com. If you haven't already. What episode when was he there? I don't know. Whatever, regardless. I was not wearing one in the interview. I know that. So, do with that information what you will, but I appreciate the kind words from you both. I don't make near the illusions. May 4th, 2008. We were absolutely recording by that point, Steve.
Were we really?
Yeah. Yeah, we
I guess
started
we were,
in 07.
yeah, we sure
Yeah,
were.
we started in 07. I make no... The nice things you say are very nice, and I appreciate them. I would never say them about... I would never agree to them, but they're very nice. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
We'll leave it with that.
Oh, wow.
What?
I thought that was before me that you did that deal.
No, because you gave me the grief for it at the time.
That doesn't sound like Steve.
Yeah,
One little bit.
Yeah. The only thing that would be more memorable is I was run over by a car in the shirt. It's okay, Steve. Luke's here with us. He's not a ghost. Like it all worked out for the best, except for when it rains and his hip hurts.
This osteoarthritis is a realer.
And he had, he decided to live in the UK, because it never doesn't rain there.
You released this on video though, too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it's on the website, but I know for a fact I'm wearing a polo shirt in
Tim.
the interview.
Tim, I don't, because I swear I remember that shirt with the rip. That's the one I remember.
I wore that shirt a lot. I loved that shirt. I could probably fit in that shirt again. But
what? Describe the T-shirt to me. The shirt rip one.
The one he's referring to. It's
Yes.
Let's see.
Is it? I had one that looked like a shirt that was ripped open with a T-shirt underneath, and there was a tie on it.
It was like torn. It was like a shred here, and it was the classic. Symbol underneath. I think it was actually like a dark brown shirt, or it may have been black. I can't remember, but it just barely revealed any of the shield in it. And I'm searching. I'm doing a Google search right now, and I'm not seeing anything similar come up for it. I don't think it was official. It was one of those that I saw an image of it one time, and I was like, I got to find that. And this was before the days of reverse image search, and trying to track it down was a nightmare. And I think it came from
it was an official shirt. I feel like I've seen it.
I don't think so.
Six Flags or something.
Because I feel like I got hacked buying that shirt at the time, or something, because it came from some foreign country or something. I don't know. Man, it's not coming up anywhere. Memories.
Did you order that statue that time?
What statue?
The one that was supposed to be Superman. Was it? Golly, it
Crypto?
was one. Yeah, maybe it was Superman and Crypto, and it's ends up being the ugliest thing ever in the world.
So, and he's got the good one. I know two people that have got the good version, and one of them's Derek.
No, I don't have the good version.
Have you got the bad one?
Oh, I absolutely have the bad one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Wow.
I mean, right down to the
It's so
underpants.
funny.
What's going on there? That's a thong.
Wow. I didn't see that part before, but now I can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a
Are they
G-string.
edible?
Probably. So we told this story before. It was a post going on. I was probably one of those Facebook things back in the day, and it was a custom statue of Reeve kneeling down with Crypto, and it's one of the most beautiful Superman pieces I've ever seen. It's one of those that I wish I could have it, because it's so good. And it was buy yours here. It was $50, and I was like, well, for $50, I have to find out what I get. Like, I feel like it was worth the juice was worth the squeeze, no matter what, on that one. Because even if I get something, if I get something perfect, great. If I don't, boy, do I have a story to tell. And I never would have known that is the thing that would have shown up. And video does not do it justice because it's horrible. But I absolutely love it. It's the ugliest thing in the world, but I love it. The paint job is terrible on it. I don't know who that's supposed to be. But it's so bad. It's so bad it's good. It's just one of those things. And I think about it so much now because obviously Crypto being in the new film, it comes around every time I see these new Crypto toys and everything. I'm like, I got that bad boy right there. I got all I need.
I don't need anything else. This is all I need.
Which I really think he's like cast from like with an RCA dog logo or something because like he actually looks pretty decent. But the actual statue itself that was done on commission is phenomenal. I'm sure you can Google that and find it. So wait, somebody that has a good one?
Yeah, my buddy Mike in New York. He's got one of the good ones, as it were. And I thought your one was good as well. I just mentally put. So you've probably got the better deal there by having one of the bad ones. But the good one, as you said, it was a beautiful piece.
And if you Google, like the variations of them are just crazy because there's some that's like have them sitting in grass. There was an official one that this is like a ripoff of the one I have. There's an actual Superboy and Crypto like DC Direct from like 03 or 04 statue.
Correct, yeah.
And
opposite sides of each other.
Yeah, but they're not in the same stances or anything. I guess the Superman's kind of closer, but I do remember. Well, there it is right there.
Wow.
Why does it say this page isn't working? I guess that person deactivated their account. I was Googling it and I saw mine show up in a picture on somebody else's Threads account that it won't go to it now. But like I remember posting it at one point and other people being like, yep, saw it, bought it, same thing. And then there were like 4 other replies of people sharing images of their own and just how bad they are. Fascinated to know that somebody has a real one though.
There you go.
I would love to see even because all I've ever seen is that like one picture floating around of the original one that everybody made a big deal about and ultimately was not what we got.
Not at all.
How much does Michael want for his?
You'll be lucky. Yeah. You'll be very, very lucky. But I'll put in a good word for you.
Thanks. Just in the will, that's fine.
Yeah, that'd be it.
Here you go, Steve. Is there
I
a
was
chat
really,
function
I was
on
really
this
happy
thing?
to put in the chat a link to a video put up by Truckin' Ben Murphy some 16 years ago of the Thanksgiving sketch
Oh, lovely.
that Derek did in his wrinkly shirt.
It didn't come up for me.
It's not there?
It says there's a chat, but I didn't get one. But I sent a link that had
I see a chat here.
oh look, glasses on glasses. On glasses.
It's Luke's favorite thing for someone to do.
What are you looking? Why did Luke's mouth just go agape?
Did you get the YouTube video, Luke?
Yeah, I did.
Oh God.
This is a live reaction.
Good night, everybody. So head over to superhouseofl.com.
In the studio chat, Derek.
I don't know why I didn't get it.
This link's not going to anything.
The one I sent?
Yeah.
I love this so much.
I
Listen.
found some other stuff too while I was looking for
Oh, did you?
I was looking for that Alan Richardson interview.
I love this so much.
Fear we've lost the case on this episode.
You have absolutely. Oh.
What else did you find,
got
Steve?
That's being saved. Oh, that was beautiful. You lost me then for a moment. I was
That's okay.
lost in that moment.
That's all right.
Yeah, get an iron though. Yeah,
It's the lighting.
It is the lighting. Oh, it's
Yeah.
corduroy. Nice.
So I just found a video posted by somebody saying, in honor of Klana Day, a little rabid Klana moment from Shu Smallville podcast discussion of it.
Okay.
And,
I don't
and
remember.
It says, well, I don't either, but it's us. It's you and I talking. It's a 4-minute video. This is not posted by us. This is posted in opposition to us.
Oh.
Oh,
And so this is the most pointless video ever. Don't even bother watching. Just listen. Seriously, I was only posting this because of the audio.
The internet never forgets.
Fun again, and while they're diehard Superman fans and definitely pro Lois and Clark, understandably, they still have some really interesting, nice. Oh, so no, this person was for us. But someone posted everything they say is true. Clark never gets over Lana. First love never dies.
No, that's not true.
I don't believe that's us that said that.
I don't believe I would have ever said that.
So I don't know if you can even hear my audio or not, but
I can't. Here, I found it. I can play it. In honor of Klana Day, little rabid Klana moment.
They had the scene at the Kent farm where
Right.
and it sounds like we're on a
Okay, well,
phone.
that's not me. Who is that? That's you and somebody. Hold on, I'll play it again. Let me roll the volume down a little bit here. Boy, we're just taking a walk down memory lane today here, aren't we?
I don't know who that is. That's not you, Derek.
they had the scene at the
Yes.
Well, you should know that's not me. I don't sound like that. I got rid of my accent for the most part. It's still there a little bit, but not nearly as bad as it used to be.
Kent farm where
Right.
Clark
This
finds
was
the
the
picture
end.
of Lana.
Right. Who knew Superman scrapbook?
Who knew he did? But come on, now, Steve. Let's just be honest. What happened? What went through your mind when he pulled out that picture of
When he
Lana?
pulled out the picture of Lana in the
Oh,
room in
was
which
that
I was
when
watching
you weren't on the
Smallville,
show for a
there
little
was a
bit, Derek?
huge groan let out by all four of us that were watching.
I don't
We were
understand-
just like,
I don't-
"Oh God, no!"
I don't understand
So
the
that was
Lana
Dave
haters.
Jones is who that was.
Like, I don't-
It's not at this.
Is that David?
Yeah, that was David.
Well, Dave got 2 mentions in this episode, didn't he?
Oh, well, by God.
By God. I was like, I have none. Now, like, I think the episode before that was the first Echo where you left the Echo on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Somewhere in there.
Did you do any more of those Smallville videos?
They did tons of them, man. They're all lost to time, though. They did some great stuff. There was a whole thing of Derek was trapped in the Phantom Zone, and
Tim,
No, quit calling it. It's
Tim.
and the final, what we thought would be the final start with Houseville, we did a great little thing for. And God, we were up all night that one night filming stuff, and we had ideas that never came to fruition for it.
We did. We made a movie out of after the final episode aired.
When's the actual anniversary date for Shu?
I mean, it was a website first. It's around like May 20th. Is the
Okay,
actual
he's got time.
Yeah.
That's good.
He's got time for what? What?
I don't know that Tim can find some of the stuff that's out there.
Some of the stuff Derek just has locked away in Dropbox and
Do you still have the stuff?
oh yeah, I've got Banished. I've got all of it.
That stuff needs to see the light of day.
For at least for the 30th anniversary, but not.
I know. Talking about stuff people posted on YouTube, I know the Lex Diary somebody posted.
Oh, that was fun. Well, there's still the series finale stuff. That's like
Somebody better bring a
pizza.
Lex
But
Luthor's Diary.
believe.
This was uploaded by Hollywood Girl 2005, 15 years ago, March 18th, 2010, as read on Startville's House of L podcast.
Dear Diary, today I created
Dear
a
Diary,
weapon
today
that
I created a
destroys
weapon that
fish, but
destroys
also
fish.
helps us take out
It
submarines.
also helps us take
It
out
was thwarted by
submarines. It was thwarted by a guy who can swim really fast. Overall, it hasn't been a good day. I'm so glad you're here for me, though. Love Les.
a guy who can swim really fast.
Dear Diary, Phantom took over my body.
Wait, can you hear it if I play it?
No,
I
I was just reading the captions here. I
Because
found
he's Lex
it when you're
Luthor,
talking
man.
about it. I'm
That
reading
just
the
killed me.
captions.
They had all this stuff about him breaking into the Pentagon, him being on the news and everything.
Oh, my voice was
Cars,
bad
the dam
back then.
broke. An angel saved me. Overall, it was a good day, even though I lost my wife to a terrible car explosion. Love, Lex.
Give and take.
I was playing it for the benefit of everybody else listening, but good grief. We did some stupid stuff.
It was fun.
Oh, it was fun.
But that bit just came about naturally in the.
Those were the best though. That just happened. The best thing to me still is that came out of us long after the show was over, going through season 1 and doing the jostling bit.
Oh yeah.
Which I'd love to pull up and play right now, but I don't.
Is that the one where you're like, I've yes-anded you all these years? And
Yeah, hold on. If I vamp for long enough, Tim can tell me probably where it is.
Come on, Tim. Don't let us down.
What happened? It was an episode where Clark's running, and we were talking, and Derek was talking about how that was done, and I started kind of talking about like the serious side of like effects work and that sort of thing, and Derek was like doing a whole bit the whole time, and Derek finally just says, "Hold on now, wait a minute, I've been yes-anding you all these years. You can let me have this bit," and I lose it because I'm like, I was like sincerely just caught off guard by the whole moment. I'm like, that's true. I did just walk all over.
I was
bit.
always straight man. Like I was always. You were.
True. That's not true. You weren't always a straight man.
9 times out of 10, I had to be straight man, or nothing ever got accomplished. If we both went off the rails, it was bad.
No, that's what.
But yeah, we were going back through season 1. I don't know, what was this, 2018, something like that.
Yeah,
and we get to this bit where they were. Look, he knows the episode. I just said, "Hey, do you know where that jostling bit is?" And he pulled it right up with a link.
Nice.
Good Lord, hang on. I'll just play it. Wait, can you not hear when I play something, or can you?
I can't. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that stinks. Here, I'll send a link to it. But yeah, I'm just gonna play it through the show, and then you guys can listen to it on your own. But
Okay.
How far back was this? Hold on, I can play it through here.
And Chloe turns around and Clark, we get that whole thing. We're treated to an effect of running toward Lana. Yes. Which we've seen a couple of times in the show, and we'll see a couple more times. Is it literally a dude with a camera jogging, and they speed it up?
I believe something to that effect. I wasn't there for the making of this.
Oh, you weren't there. Well, all right, Bill. So what happens in this scene is Clark is finding Lana, and she's on the other side of town. Okay. And
I think it may be on a car.
What we're going to need you to... It's jostling too much. Please don't interrupt my dramatic...
I'm sorry.
Please stop. Please don't interrupt my bit.
Please stop. Please don't interrupt my bit.
Yes, and yours. You can't do it
Oh.
with me one time. I had one time and you couldn't do it.
His first bit of improv, and you ruined it, Steve. You killed it.
Well, you heard like. I was
Absolutely flogged it.
I think I was about to wax eloquent about like the speeder bike chase in Return of the Jedi or something, and how they filmed all that.
Of course you were, Star Wars.
And I'm like, I think that was on a truck, and it's jostling to it. And then Derek catches himself and realizes I've just been interrupted in the middle of my bit. There were two things at play there.
Oh.
Derek's like he's gonna argue back with me, and he's like, "Wait a minute, I was in the middle of something here."
You son of a bitch! You ruined my take. That's still one of my favorite moments in 20 years of this, and that's only from a few years ago.
Oh, there we go.
Good night.
True legacy.
Good stuff. Thank you both. I appreciate your kind words. do head over to our new website if you have not already, superhouseofl.com, and thank you to Graham and Tim and Dane and everybody that has worked to get that going. I think that is our best looking website that we've had since the show went off the air, and finally have the ability to do things on there that frankly have not been able to do in years, as good as the website was when the show was still on back in the day. The site we had from 2009 to 2011 was perfect, and we, got our server was destroyed and lost all that, and it's taken this long to actually get to something that I'm so proud of now, and I can't thank everybody that's worked on it enough. So do check that out, superhouseofl.com. And of course, we're on all social media at superhouseofl. Luke, do we want to mention our good news that we don't have any more to share about it, other than it's happening?
Why not?
Well, all right then. If you are in the Cleveland area, if you're not in the Cleveland, Ohio area, and you are wanting to see Superman opening weekend with a bunch of like-minded individuals who won't ruin your bit and interrupt your improv.
But I wanted to be there.
Well, come on.
No promises.
I meant other people. You're fine. We are going to be hosting a screening of Superman opening weekend in Cleveland, Ohio, the birthplace of Superman, and where the movie was filmed last summer for the Siegel and Schuster Society. And we are so excited for this opportunity. Have already mentioned it to some folk who've already absolutely, we will be there, and that is huge. So it will be. We don't know the exact details yet. We only know that it is happening. It will be for the benefit of the foundation and the unveiling of the statues. You can hear more about it on the Siegel and Schuster podcast as in the weeks to come. We are officially 2 months out from the release of the film, which is just crazy to believe. Time has flown. I feel like we were just talking about that initial teaser trailer back in December, and it's already May now. So we're only a matter of weeks away. So we hope you can come, and we'll be posting more details about it on social media as we get there. But do follow at Superhouseofl, follow the Geek of Steel, follow Geek Out Loud, and of course Siegel and Schuster Society on social media for more details specifically on that. But we do, of course, want you to check out Luke and Steve's shows as well, and the fine things they're doing over there. And a hush fell over the crowd.
Well, you did it so well. I mean, I don't want to step on
That's it. We just got lost in the moment yet again.
Everybody has something to be proud about in their own right. I mean, my God, Luke, the thing you talk about me, but you have done incredible things since you started doing the Geek of Steel and the podcast of Steel that I'm just amazed by. The opportunities you've had and the things you've gone after and been able to accomplish are insane to me. So pat your own self on the back there while you're patting others. Don't break your arm, but
But no, and that's why I adore situations and when we can have a chat like this with like-minded geeks from around the world who love to share their passions and to step out of comfort zones when it comes to talking about what they love. And it took me a long time to learn how to do that, to put myself into a conversation where I perhaps foolishly thought I didn't belong in these groups of people that have already had established fan zones. And it was, for me, sometimes I was coming on the scene a little bit later than others, especially with Smallville. In the UK, we didn't get it straight away, and downloading and streaming wasn't really an option, so we had to wait a little bit longer. But as I said, when we get together and we can talk about the things that we love and we can talk about our hobbies that have turned into a passion and into a career, as it were, it's beautiful to see people grow, but not change in a way. You've always had that love for Superman, and you've both shared that love for Superman for many years, and you will continue to do so because it means so much. And that, to me, it's an inspiration for how I want to be later down the line as the Geek of Steel.
We are all here for each other, and I love all the collaboration and the goodwill, and just that so many people are excited about. I'm just excited to see people excited about Superman more than anything. It's we've been calling it the year of Superman, the summer of Superman, Superman Day, like whatever iteration you want to call it. But this really has been. I feel like everything from the Reeve documentary last fall to the resurgence. I feel like so many people are watching Smallville right now, to My Adventures with Superman being on the air, to the new movie, to the final season and series finale of Superman and Lois. Like, there's just been so much buzz around the character in a time where it's just been such a drought. It's always feast or famine, and it's been so much famine for us. But to kind of remember get that shot in the arm of validity, I feel like there's validation. It's like, okay, well, we've been talking about this for 20 years. I feel like this is a good time for us to still be talking about it, because it has been just so much of breadcrumbs. And here's a little bit, get something new and get it taken away. But I feel like we're in an age now where we're finally, the respect is getting put on his name back where it belongs. When it's been missing for some time in some circles, I feel like. So, so we'll be back with another episode soon. I assume we're going to have to talk about this trailer as soon as it drops. So
that's Wednesday that's dropping?
Wednesday that's dropping. So check that out. Head over to patreon.com where you can become a member. I finally got Patreon merch in the mail the other day and sent that out over the weekend. You two should both be expecting something in the mail soon at the time of this recording, and if you haven't received it already. And but if you want to become a member at patreon.com/superhouseofl, join us, support us, pick up some bang for your buck while you're there, and listen to exclusive episodes only available at Patreon, a new one of which is coming soon. So until next time, look up, and we will see you. Yep, both of you. Thank you. On command. I said look up, not look out. Steve looked worried. It's coming right for us. We'll see you guys next time.